Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video we'll be covering the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, the four chapters of this class 7th NCERT Geography. So the 7th chapter is quite easy, not much important. Human environment and settlement, transport and communication. So it says that the names of the greatest civilization, the Indus River Valley civilization, the Tigris civilization, yeah, the Nile civilization, and Wanghe civilization, important civilization and settlements. Yeah, it talks about the permanent and the temporary settlements. Yeah, this was an important glossary, somewhat important. Transhumans. It's a seasonal movement of people. Seasonal movement, right? People who rear animal move in search of new pastures according to changes in seasons, as seen in the Leh Ladakh region, as seen by some of the Bedouin tribes in Sahara. Yes, regions of heavy rainfall, they have slanting roofs. For example, uh, in Brazil, we find these slanting roof, and the names we'll see it later. But I just jotted it down. It's known as Maloca, right, in Amazons, and where there is occasional rains, it is known as stilts. Yeah, they make houses on raised platforms or stilts. So these are stilts, you can see. And in regions of very hot areas, the houses are made with the walls very thick and of clay, right? So as to ward off the heat during summers, and it the inside of the room remains cool during summer, and during winter it remains warm, right? So yeah, using thickness of the wall of the paleo houses, you can guess the temperature of the area, somewhat idea you can get. Next is transport. Yes, interesting was that in Andes mountains, South America, llamas are used for transport. Yaks are used in Tibet, right? Roadways, subways are the underpaths, and the flyovers are the raised paths. The metalled are the pakka, and the unmetalled are the kacha roads. Yes, and the train from Jining to Lhasa runs at an altitude of 4 kilometers above the sea levels, the highest point being roughly 5 kilometers above the sea level. So that is, really unimaginable. Trains running at the height of 4 kilometers, unimaginable from the sea floor. Yes, railways. Again, do you know fact? Interesting fact that the Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest railway. Yes, as far as it's from west in Saint Petersburg, it runs up till the Vladivostok in east. Okay, and other aspect is that it is the longest passenger railway line. The As far as cargo line is concerned, the longest cargo line is Yiwu Madrid. Okay, starts from China, Yiwu, up till Spain, Madrid. Okay, so China, Europe, railway line. Next is the waterway. Mainly two types of waterway: the inland waterway and the sea routes. Now, some of the important sea routes in India are Prayagraj Haldia, which is National Waterway 1. Sadia Dhubri in Assam is National Waterway 2 on the Brahmaputra River. Prayagraj Haldia is on the Ganges River. The Kollam Kottapuram in Kerala, the Kakinada Puducherry in Tamil Nadu, and the Talcher Dhamra, okay, Odisha. So that was National Waterway 5. Airways, Frankfurt, Cairo, London, New York, these are well connected places. So that was all, not a very important chapter, with some, with some very good facts as far as the Yiwu Madrid railway line and the Trans-Siberian Railway. This was not known to me, that the Xining to Lhasa runs at altitude of 4,000 meters above the sea levels. Highest point being 5 kilometers above the sea level. So that was like, I'm grateful, right? And yes, again, so one interesting fact from this chapter, one glossary to learn about transhumans, movement during the special seasons, and one concept of how thick walls can be used to find the an idea of temperature, right? Because normally in cold regions, people don't make thick walls. People use igloos, right? If it's like very cold. But in hot climate, thick mud-walled houses. Okay, mud-walled. Yeah. All right. So next we move to next chapter: human environment interactions, tropical and subtropical regions. So this is about tropical and subtropical region, where it compares the two regions in Amazon basin as well for the tropical, and the Ganges basin for the subtropical region. So first, do you know fact? Yes, very interesting fact, that the word Amazon was coined by the Spaniards. When they came here, the local tribal women, they attacked the Spanish, and the Spanish people, seeing the bravery and the valiancy, the valiant nature of these women, they termed it with a Greek mythological character of the Amazon women, who were the virgin women who used to fight. So that is how the Amazon got its name, thanks to the Spaniards. Yes, Spain. If you see the Amazon basin, it lies from 10 degree north to 10 degree south, right, in equatorial region. Amazon river is the main river which drains, and the countries are like basin drains portions of Brazil, parts of Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and small part of Venezuela, right? So that is about the locational aspect of Amazon basin. If we see the climate, since it's on the equator, the climate is hot and wet throughout the year, and both the days and nights are almost equally hot and humid, right? It rains almost every day. Every day it rains. Can you imagine? There is no season but it rains every day. Unimaginable. I mean, without much warning. I mean, no warning, it's raining. There is no pattern. It may rain, right? Next, if we move to the rainforests, see, as it rains heavily in this region, thick forests grow. The forests are in fact so thick that the dense roof created by the leaves and the branch don't allow the sunlight to reach the ground. A canopy forms, and only the shade tolerant vegetation grows here, such as the orchids and bromeliads. One example of bromeliad is pineapple, right? Pineapple is actually grows on a bromeliad. The bromeliad These, the bromeliads, they have a special curvature of the leaf, causing the water to accumulate where the toads and the frogs, they lay eggs, right? They also grow on the trees. They can grow on the rocks, right? The bromeliads. It was used by the Europeans for solving the problem of scurvy. The rainforest is rich in fauna, very rich. Here you can see a toucan bird making a very loud noise, brilliantly colored plumage, oversized bills for eating, make them different from birds we commonly see in India, right? Now, animals like monkey, sloth, and ant-eating tapirs. So this is wrong. Tapir are not the ant eaters. This is a wrong thing in NCERT. It's wrongly written. Tapirs, they eat on fruits, grasses, etc. Various species of reptiles and snakes also thrive in the jungle. Crocodiles, snakes, pythons around, anaconda and boa constrictor are some of the species, right? Yes, the basin is home to thousands species of insects. Several species of fishes include the flesh-eating piranha. So it's like very, very rich in the flora and fauna. Next, if we move to the people of the rainforests, people grow most of their food in small areas after clearing some trees in forests. So they are engaged in slash and burn, which we call jhum cultivation in India. Now, some of the important plants are like sweet potato, the pineapple. By the way, pineapple, as I already told, is a bromeliad. It is not a fruit. Pineapple is not a fruit. Pineapple is a group of fruits which are fused together, right? Yeah, so sweet potato, pineapple, and tapioca, right? From tapioca we make sabudana. Okay, it's also known as sagu in South. By the way, tapioca, as far as India is concerned, tapioca is most grown in the Salem district of Tamil Nadu. So the yield of tapioca is like the highest in Salem in the world, right? So sabudana mostly comes from south of India. Yes, and the practice slash and burn, as I've already told, and the staple food is manioc, which is cassava, right? Again, a tuber, a root tuber. Yes, these people also eat queen ants and egg sacs, right? So queen ants, they taste like the green grass, and they eat with the manioc, that is cassava, right? And the crash crops like coffee, maize, and cocoa are like very, very popular here. Now, the rainforest provide lots of wood for the houses, and some families live in thatched houses shaped like a beehives. Others are apartment like houses called maloka, steeply slanting roofs. Okay, so that was about the housing of the Amazon. A very important thing is that in older days the heart of the forest could be reached only by navigating by the rivers, but now in 1970s the Trans-Amazon Highway have made all the parts of rainforest accessible. So nowadays the forests are getting cleared. So not a good thing. Next, if we move to the Ganga basin, the tributaries of river Ganga and Brahmaputra together form the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin in the Indian subcontinent. So this is the Ganga river here, and this is the Brahmaputra river here. comparing with the Amazon River, there are two rivers which are like the major rivers forming this the temperate area. The if we see the latitudes of the evergreen forest was 10 degrees south to 10 degree north, but if the latitudes of the Ganga Brahmaputra is 10 degree north to 30 degree north, right? Now some of the important tributaries of the Ganga in the north, they are like Ram Ganga, right? Then Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, and Mahananda, excuse me. So the trick for the left tributaries of Ganga are राम ने गोमती के घाघरे पर गंदी कढ़ाई की, right? So, and the right tributaries of the Ganga are Yamuna and Son, right? In total, there are 8 tributaries of Ganga. The next is the tributaries of the Brahmaputra. The tributaries of the Brahmaputra, which is also known as Sangpo in Tibet, and Dihang as it enters. So the left tributaries of the Brahmaputra river, you can remember it via a story that Lohit was a Dabang and he liked a lady, Shri. So Lohit, Dabang Rohit देखा धनचरी को, right? Dhanno. The lady's name was Dhanna. So Dabang Rohit देखा Dhanno को. From Dhanno you will recall Dhanchiri. So Dibang, then Lohit, then Dikhu, then Dhanchiri, and then Kopili or Koland. So these are like 5 tributaries, left tributaries of Brahmaputra. The right tributaries of Brahmaputra are Dihang, Subanchiri, Kanang, Manas, and Sankosh and Tista. So the trick for the same is Diwali की शुभ कामना दिया सेनोरिटा को. दिवाली, दिहांग, शुभ कामना, सुबंसिरी, शुभ, सुबंसिरी, कामना, कनांग, मानस, and senorita, Sankosh and Tista, right? Next we move to some of the features. The Oxbow Lake dot the plain area. The area is dominated by the monsoon climate, right? And tropical monsoon, yes. The monsoon brings rain from mid-June to mid-September. The basin area has a very topography, and cultivation of paddy is like very, very important. The wheat, maize, sorghum, gram, millets are the other crops grown. The cash crops like sugar cane, jute, banana plantations are also seen in some area. In West Bengal and Assam, tea is grown. Silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of Bihar and Assam. In the mountains and hills where the slopes are gentle, the crops are grown as terraces, grown on terraces. Right? So, for forests, teak, sal, and peepal are very, very common. Thick bamboo groves are grown in the Brahmaputra plain, right? And the delta area is covered with the mangrove forests, right? So these were like the flora. If we see the fauna, Elephants, tigers, deer, monkeys are very common. The one-horned rhinoceros is found in Brahmaputra plain. In the delta area, Bengal tiger, crocodiles, and alligators are found. And the aquatic life is abounds the fresh river water, lakes, Bay of Bengal Sea. Fishes include rohu, katla, hilsa, and yeah, fish and rice is the staple diet for people living in area. What was the staple diet there? Cassava, right? Cassava for Amazon. A river in, yes, this is a quite important, do you know fact? The blind dolphin. In the freshwater river Ganga and river Brahmaputra, a variety of dolphin locally called susu, also called blind dolphin, is found. The presence of susu is an indication of the health of the river. The untreated industrial and urban wastes with high amount of chemicals are killing these species. Right? Yes, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra plain have the big towns and cities like Allahabad, Kanpur, Varanasi, Lucknow, Patna, and Kolkata with a population of more than million. The reason why the Brahmaputra, the Ganga area has a high population density owing to the climate and topography, the soil fertility. Yeah. So you'll see in Uttarakhand where the population is 189 people per square kilometer. In West Bengal, it's like 10 times more, almost 10 times low, only 1,000 people per square kilometer, and that of Bihar is like 1,100 people per square kilometer, right? So that's the role of topography, even though the soil is almost fertile, right? Or if not, I mean, Uttarakhand also comes in the the Ganga basin, right? So that was about the comparison between the Ganga and the Amazon. Let's summarize it quickly. In Amazon, we have scattered population. In the Ganga, we have very high population. In Amazon, we have the staple diet being the cassava. In Ganga, we have staple diet being rice. The animals in Amazon are like tapir. The animals in the Ganga basin are like tiger, rhino, lion, right? In Brahmaputra, the houses, due to heavy rainfall, are maloka, which is like very slanting roofed houses. Ganga basin, since the rainfall is not too high, so it's like a normal plain. Teak sal people are important trees in Ganga basin. On the other hand, the orchids, the bromeliads, ebony, mahogany are the important trees in Amazon, right? The people in Amazon, they practice slash and burn agriculture. On the other hand, the people in the Ganga basin, they practice a settled agriculture, right? And if we finally see the climate is hot and humid with every day of rainfall in this Amazon basin. On the other hand, there is a particular season of rainfall in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin that is known as the monsoon season, and hence the monsoon forest comes, the name. And the trees shed their leaves owing to the fact that the dry season comes, but in Amazon the trees don't shed their leaves. The main river is Amazon River. In Ganga Brahmaputra, the main rivers are the Ganges and Brahmaputra, right? So that was like the summarization of both of these, right? Next, we move to life in temperate grasslands. Now, the forests are named so because the trees dominate. The grasslands, hence, are dominated by the grasses. The grasslands, as we have already seen, they can be categorized into two parts, the temperate grasslands and the tropical grasslands. First, we'll see the prairies in the northern hemisphere, and then we'll see the velds in the southern hemisphere, both being the temperate grasslands. The temperate grasslands of the North America, known as the prairies, right? And if we see the geographical extent, they are bound by the Rocky Mountains in the west, Lake Superior, the Great Lakes in the east, and these are drained by the two important rivers, the Saskatchewan in the Canada and the Mississippi in America. If you see the complete middle of America, it is taken up, or it is completely filled up with the yellow color of the grasslands, right? And in this region, you will find most of the cities like Indianapolis, right? These kind of cities having rich farmers, having big lands, potatoes, maize, right? Big rearing, animals which are known as ranches. Yes. Okay. So these areas, as it is written here, very interestingly, were actually the original inhabitants of these areas were the Red Indians, for example, and some of their tribes are like the Apache, the helicopter. Yes, Apache helicopter also, Apache motorbike also, and the Crow, the Cree, and the Pawnee. Okay, so these were the main tribes here. If you see the climate is continental, that is extreme temperatures owing to its continental nature and away from the the warm or the cold current winds from the ocean. We'll see how it will affect the climate of the worlds. But here it is continental, that is in summer the temperature goes as high as 20 degrees Celsius, while in winter minus 20 degrees Celsius, right? Which was recorded once in Winnipeg in Canada. So thick blanket of snow covers this region, right? And now, due to the absence of north-south barrier, a local wind Chinook blows here. Chinook is again a name of tribe, snow eater. Okay. So Chinook is a hot wind, right, that blows in winter and therefore raises the temperature within a short time. This increase in temperature results in the melting of snow, making the pasture land available for the grazing of the animals. Okay, so it is a hot wind. If you see the flora and fauna of this region, since it is treeless, where there is some water available, trees like willows, very important for making bats, alders, and poplars grow. Okay, the major crops of this area are maize, alfalfa, cotton, soybean. Okay, and these areas are best for cattle rearing, and these are known as ranches, right? Looked after by sturdy men, cowboys, right? So all the movie scenes of the cowboy culture or the big fields are found in this region of the United States and Canada, right? Known as the prairies, beyond which we have Rocky Mountains or deserts in areas like beyond that, right? But these are like great. And to the right we studied earlier that we find the temperate deciduous forests, right? Yeah. So we're discussing about how the bison, which was like the local animal, but it was near, it was almost to the verge on extinction, but was with protection, it has been conserved. And other animals include the rabbits, the coyotes, the gophers, and the prairie dog, right? The people are hardworking, big farms, as it is known as the scientific methods of cultivation and use of tractors, harvester combines has made the North America as the granaries of the world due to huge surplus production of the wheat. And the large mineral deposit, particularly the coal and the iron, and a good network of roads, it's the industrial region of the world, right? Yes. Important cities in the American prairies are Chicago, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Kansas, and Denver. And in the Canadian prairies, the important cities are the Edmonton, Saskatoon, Calgary, and Winnipeg. Okay, so this is the complete region, right? And next, if we move to the velds are the name was given by the Dutch settler before the South Africa was colonized by the British. Dutch gave the name veld, right? So these are again the temperate grasslands. The only difference being it is on the below the equator, that is on the southern hemisphere. And it is bound by the Drakensberg mountain on the east, as you can see here, Drakensberg mountain on the east, and drained by the Orange River and the Limpopo River. Interestingly, the Limpopo River forms the border between the South Africa, and the Botswana, South Africa and Zimbabwe, South Africa and Mozambique, right? So that was like, it's very interesting. Not South Africa and Mozambique, just Zimbabwe and South Africa and Botswana, right? So we have like Yellow Sea, we have Black Sea, we have Nile River, which is Blue Nile, we have White Nile, and then we also have an Orange River. So quite interesting, full of colors. Yeah. The welds, these are like not too flat. There are high welds, right, which are as high as like 1600 meters. So these are like the rolling plateaus with varying heights ranging from 600 meters to 1100 meters. Okay. Next is the climate of the welds. The welds have a mild climate due to influence of the Indian Oceans, right? Since they are not continental in nature, the climate is mild. The winters are cold. The temperatures vary between 5 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius, right? So these things are quite, understandable. If we come to the flora and fauna, grasses definitely have to dominate, the red grass, and the welds are marked by the acacia and marula. So acacia is like babool, right, as we call in Hindi, and marula, let it be marula, and this is this when animals eat marula, it causes dizziness in animals. So just type marula on YouTube, you'll find drunken elephant videos, right? So you'll see videos where animal will walk like a drunken man because of this marula having some it acts like a beer for animals. Other animals include the lion, leopards, cheetah, and the kudu, right? If we come to the welds are known for the cattle rearing and the mining. Okay. In the best cattle here is sheep. Okay, the merino sheep is a popular species and their wool is like very warm. So merino sheep and the merino wool is like the the best quality wool considered, right? And the cash crops are grown here apart from the main crops being the maize, wheat, barley, oats, and potato. The cash crops are the tobacco. So this is what makes different from the USA. The tobacco is not grown in USA, but here tobacco is grown, sugarcane is grown here, and cotton is also grown here. Unlike the prairies, right? Apart from the sheep rearing, the dairy farming is also very important, and it's very rich. The wells are very rich in minerals, gold and diamond, the kimberlite, and the Johannesburg is known for being the gold capital of world, right? So that was how we compared the two grasslands. Now we'll be comparing the two deserts. First of all, it's a very beautiful definition given here about desert. It is an arid region characterized by extremely high for hot deserts or extremely low temperatures. Okay, cold desert, and has a scarce vegetation. So it's like a perfect definition of what is a desert. Arid region characterized by extremely high or low temperatures and has scarce vegetation. Okay. Now, first we'll discuss Sahara. Okay. So it's on North Africa and it's the world's largest desert. The area being 8.54 million square kilometer. Right? That of India is 3.2 million square kilometer. And the Sahara Desert touches 11 countries: Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Sudan, Tunisia, and Western Sahara. So these are like the full desert, right? Interesting fact to know was that once upon a time, the cave paintings, rivers with crocodiles, elephants, lions, giraffes, ostriches, sheep, cattle were common. So this is what we have got from the cave paintings. Okay, and there are some regions where the height is more than 2.5 kilometers. Okay. Yes, Al Azizia in the Sahara Desert south of Tripoli, Libya, recorded highest temperature of unimaginable around 58 degrees Celsius in 1922. Okay. Next we move to climate. The climate of Sahara Desert is scorching hot and parched dry. It has short rainy season. The sky is cloudless and clear. Here the moisture evaporates faster than it accumulates. Days are unbelievably hot. The temperature during the day may soar as high as 50 degrees Celsius. Okay. If we come to the flora and fauna, the vegetation in the Sahara Desert includes the cactus, date, palms, and acacia. Again, babool. Palms are like dates. Khajur. In some places there are oases, the green islands with date plants surrounding them, the camel, hyenas, jackals, foxes, scorpions, and many varieties of snakes and lizards are prominent animal species living here. Yes, scientists have actually found skeletons of fish in the desert. Even, trilobites, which used to roam the ocean, has been found in the Moroccan oasis of Tiflalet, Tifalt, right? So we'll discuss what is oasis. Let's discuss, by the way. So when air they erode the land because of constant blowing, the depression made is so high that the groundwater comes on top, right? And this leads to water accumulation, forming oasis, and then the plants keeps on growing side by side to the oasis, right? The Tifa, the Tafilat Oasis. The word Tafilalet means jug in Amazigh language, right? It is the largest oasis in the world, so that is like the beautiful fact, and it extends up till the Casablanca city of Morocco. 13,000 square kilometer is the area, so that's really huge. Okay. Now, if we have to discuss the people, the Sahara Desert, despite its harsh climate, has been inhabited by the various groups of people who pursue different activities. The Bedouins, whom we call the Khana Badosh, and Tuaregs. Tuaregs are the people of, the original inhabitant of the Algeria and the Morocco. So yeah, type it on YouTube. There is a beautiful documentary of about the Tuaregs, how they are facing problems, just like other tribes of the world. Okay, just like the Mio tribe of China, they are also facing problems relating to their language, culture, right? And these groups are nomadic tribe rearing livestock such as the goat, sheep, camel, and horses. The animal provide milk, hides from bones, and from which they make the belts, slippers, water bottles. Hair is used for mats, carpets, clothes, and blankets, right? They wear heavy robes as protection against the dust storms and hot winds. Okay. The oasis in the Sahara and the Nile Valley in Egypt support the settled population. The crops grown here are the rice, wheat, barley, and the beans, the Egyptian cotton, and the famous worldwide in Egypt. Right. Yes. Next, we move to the cold desert. The term Ladakh, as we'll study here, La means mountain and Dak means country. Okay. So there is a place in this region known as Dras. It is the one of the coldest inhabited places on earth. Okay. Alright, so Ladakh is a cold desert lying in the Great Himalayas on the eastern side of the Jammu and Kashmir. The Karakoram range in the north and Zanskar mountain in the south enclose it. Several rivers flow through the Ladakh. Yes, the difference between the Sahara and Ladakh is Sahara is a hot desert, the Ladakh is a cold desert, right? The Karakoram range in the north and the Zanskar mountain in the south enclose it. Okay, and several rivers flow through Ladakh, the Indus being the most important among them. Okay. The rivers form the deep valleys, the gorges. Several glaciers are found in Ladakh. For example, the Gangri Glacier. It's not Gangotri. Gangotri is in Uttarakhand. The Gangri Glacier is in Ladakh, right? The altitude of Ladakh varies from 3 kilometers in Kargil to more than 8 kilometers in Karakoram. The climate is extremely cold and dry. The air is so thin that the heat of the sun can be felt intensely. Right? The temperature are just above 0 degree in summer during day, and in winter it can go as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. So it's like really unbearable. That's why this region in Kargil, most of the deaths of the armies are not because of the bullets exchanged. The most of the deaths are the climate related deaths, right? Ladakh is also known as Khapachan, which means snow land. Khapachan, right? Yes, very interesting thing that rainfall as less as 10 centimeter every year, right? So that's like very low rainfall, and hence the people save every drop of water here. Okay. Yes, a very interesting thing. If you go to Sahara, you'll get sunburn, but if you'll go to Ladakh, you'll get both the sunstroke as well as the frostbite at the same time. So it's like India, they won't balance. Don't think the sunstroke and the heat, the frostbite will balance. Not at all. Next is the flora and fauna. Due to high aridity and vegetation is sparse, there are scanty patches of grasses and shrubs for animals to graze. The willows and the poplars are seen in the valley. But during the summer, the fruit trees such as the apples, apricots, and the walnuts they bloom, right? And the fruit trees, there are some species of the birds sighted in Ladakh, such as the robins, redstarts, Tibetan snowcock, raven, and hoopoe. Right? These are commons. Animals you can guess because the people are again the herders, again the Bedouins of Ladakhs. Wild sheep, wild goats, yak, and special kind of dogs, right? Who are like a very, very, very thick skinned and have like long hairs, and they are very big dogs, right? So they are also known as the lions of Ladakh because of their appearance like a lion. The animals are reared to provide for the milk, meat, and the hides. Yak's milk is used to make cheese and butter. The hair of the sheep and goat is used to make the woolen. If we see the people are they mainly follow the Muslim and the Buddhist, but yes, definitely there is a growing Hinduism presence there too. Gompas are found here, right, which are the Tibetan monasteries. Okay, some important Gompas or monasteries are in Hemis, Tikse, She, and Lamayuru. Leh is the capital of the Ladakh and is well connected both by road and air. The National Highway 1A connects the Leh to Kashmir Valley through Zozila Pass. Right. Now, interestingly, tourism is growing in the Leh and visit to Gompas. People are growing there. Right. An interesting fact which may come in the exam, from Manali to Leh, 4 passes comes. First is the Rohtang, then Baralachla, then Lungalachla, and then Tanglangla. The highway opens only between July and September when snow is cleared from the road. So that is the end of this NCERT book. Really enjoyed, right? Yes, a few more do you know facts, why to leave them. The chiru or the Tibetan antelope is an endangered species. It is hunted for its wool known as shahtush, which is light in weight and extremely warm. Okay, and finally the finest cricket bat we have already discussed is from the willow trees. Okay, let's call it an end, right? See you. Bye bye.